What's happening here? Just this week's media flap or the commercial sexualisation of adolescent girls? Joining us for the topic are Women's Day editor Sarah Henry, teenage agony columnist and daughter of the founders of the world fashion label Pebbles Hooper, and the editor of Stella magazine, Emily Wilson. If we could start with you, Sarah. I mean, these two pictures have created roughly equivalent amounts of fuss in different parts of the world. One's by a famous photographer in the Serious magazine, the other one's in the fashion magazine. Are they the same thing?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I guess where they are the same is that they've created huge amounts of publicity, which I would argue was always going to be the main purpose. Let's get a young girl, let's take her top off, and all of a sudden we've got the whole world talking about it. I mean... And
it has worked. We went into magazine and we could not actually get a copy of that magazine.
Absolutely. And that is the whole point of it. Let's create a bit of controversy. Is it right? Is it wrong? You know, let's let the public make their mind up about it. Obviously, they are two very different magazines, and they were two very different shoots. I mean, one was quite sexually gratuitous, and one was, as you say, very innocent and coy. And I think that the public have a different reaction to both those photographs. But the whole reason, I would argue, was to create this publicity. Everyone knows who Rush magazine is now. Everyone knows who Miley Cyrus is, although it has backfired on her. Her ratings on her show have actually tanked. So was that a good idea? I'm sure Vanity Fair had a very good time out of it.
Indeed, yes, it got them on the headlines. Pebbles, what did you make of it? You're actually someone who'd heard of Rush magazine before this week.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've grown up in the fashion world. What did you make of that shoot?
I thought it was really tacky, and it's a fashion magazine, and she's got no clothes on. It's sort of pointless. And I think they've sort of told her, you know, you're the next Kate Moss, you're this, you're that. And so maybe from her perspective and the agency, they sort of thought she has to do this.
Was her youth an issue for you, or did you just think it was tacky full stop?
I thought it was tacky full stop. I don't think there's an issue about age, because, you know, a lot of these girls are at their prime now, and maybe when they're 18 they all have big bums and bad skin and ugly hair or whatever. But
I mean, I presume, Emily, you use young models as well. Does it concern you that girls enter this world at such a young age?
Yes, but the girls who would be modelling for my magazine, they are young. They sort of will range from the 14 to 16 age bracket. But then my magazine's read by the 14 to 16-year-old age bracket, and so I think it's a lot to do with audience, and that's the same with Miley Cyrus. I think that's why they should have picked the star better, because her audience is the tweens.
I mean, what do you look for when you're casting models? Are you looking at representative body images or what?
Well, we just have a look that we're going for the shoot. So whatever the new faces are get thrown our way, we only have a limited choice to go from. So we don't necessarily look at the overall package, or it's just generally one feature that probably strikes us.
Right, we've got to go to a break now, but when we come back we'll look at one of your competitors, Girlfriend magazine, and the advice therein. You might be surprised.